This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, December 23rd, 2005, and this is episode number 40 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from mgmstudios.org. We've got a full house on our panel today, and that includes, of course, Mr. Scopa Towers himself, Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
Merry Christmas to all, and Happy Hanukkah to all.
Why, thank you. We also have Len Testa, the co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
Festivus begins with the airing of grievances.
Feats of strength to follow the show. And last but not least is, of course, Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Glad to have you back, Mike.
Happy 40th episode, everyone.
Boy,
have we lasted longer than Nick and Jessica's marriage yet? Or that's coming up, right?
Due to listener popular demand, this show will be a second demographic show. If you recall an episode, oh boy, it was 38, 36, well, it was an earlier episode. We talked about, we gave out demographics of families, like a family with 1 kid, family with 4 children. And a lot of you wrote into us and said, hey, some of us, are Catholic and have at least 20 kids, so so we need to have, we need other demographics out there, so we've come back with some more. And we're going to start out with a family of 5 or 6 children, and we're going to let's start out with young kids, family 5 or 6. Tend to be younger than others, so if they pump them right out, where are they staying?
The Fort Wilderness cabins are an obvious choice there. In terms of the money, they're really not that bad. Like 500 square feet each cabin has a full-size stove, full-size microwave, full-size fridge. It's got a Murphy bed, a full-size bed, and 2 bunk beds, plus a regular bathroom. That's for the money you really can't beat it. It's also got a wooden deck outside.
Yeah, one of our listeners, Gary Fitzgerald, wrote in and says that most Disney properties, other than Disney Vacation Club and Fort Wilderness, max out at accommodating 5 people. And he wanted to know where a family of 6 would stay.
Cabins, definitely cabins.
Cabins is good. If your family is more of a Costanza kind of family, then perhaps you'd consider 2 different rooms at a value resort.
Or DVC. You could get a 1-bedroom suite or a 2-bedroom suite or a grand villa.
Of course, if you're not a DVC member, you could also get DVC points online. There are ways you can get that. That can be an option for non-DVC members.
Has anyone besides me ever rented DVC points?
I haven't done it yet.
Not me.
Yeah, it's really not bad. I mean, Disboards.com has a board that's dedicated to it. I think the going rates are on $10 a point right now, but sometimes it varies. I mean, I've seen deals as good as $6 a point, all the way up to like $12 a point for the...
Right, depending on season, right, Lon?
Yeah, season and resort and demand and stuff. But the deal that I got last year was, family in Indiana offered me $10 a point for Saratoga Springs. Ended up with a 2-bedroom suite ended up being $375 a night, but that was actually the going rate from Disney for just a studio. And I got the 2-bedroom suite with a full kitchen, DVD player, TV, balcony, walk-in, shower. It was really nice. I mean, for the money, you can't beat it in terms of on-site Disney accommodations. Renting DVC points always makes more sense than a suite at any of the resorts, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a good point.
Now, the downside is, of course, that I had to send $1,200 to somebody I'd never met before, but it worked out pretty well.
As opposed to giving the money right to Disney itself.
To Disney, exactly.
What about a family of 5 or 6 older children, perhaps teenagers? Perhaps you've got a family of 4, and, teenagers tend to bring their own friends because mom and dad are obviously not cool. I was thinking, and Len, what do you think about this? Off-site, possibly at one of those vacation homes that are readily available?
Yeah, a friend of mine did the Marriott Timeshare thing, and that worked out really well. He actually had brought his parents down with him. It was him, his wife, and they have 3 or 4 kids, plus the parents. And it worked out really, really well. I think for the entire week they spent like $400 on lodging. We were talking about renting a vacation home, though.
Yeah, well, the ones that I remember we had Chris Carlson on episode 25, and Chris was talking about how you can really save some money, especially for larger families, where you can get a family of like in this case 5 or 6 can get a nice little vacation home that's maybe a 5 or 10 minute drive from Walt Disney World. It comes with a pool and everything included, and not oftentimes, most of the time, in fact, you'll save money, a lot more money compared to staying at Disney property.
Yeah, I like the idea. I've never done it before, but if any of our readers have, I'd love to hear about their experiences on it.
I have I have some friends who have talked very highly about the Buena Vista suites. They're on Will Center Drive. I think they're about 2 or 3 miles from the Disney property, and they have some really nice 2-bedroom suites. And from what I understand, you can fit a family of 6 in there really comfortably. And the prices aren't bad at all. And you've got amenities that you can't find, at Disney. So pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds like a family of 5 or 6 with young children should probably stay on site for the the whole Disney thing. But
right.
A
for
family
convenience, you don't have to put the kids in the car for an hour ride.
Right.
Yep.
Middle of the day or whatever.
That's very true.
Along with this, we should also mention that if you've got a family of 6, then you may not want to spend a lot of money on restaurants. So you may want to look for a suite where you can maybe prepare, even like when Len was saying about the Fort Wilderness Caverns, if you can have some kind of a kitchen there so you can prepare some meals, that would save some money.
Yeah, but even if it's breakfast, and or lunch, the amount of money that you'd save is just tremendous. And if you can't do that, then the next best thing is to go off-site where food's considerably less expensive.
Oh, yeah.
The only downside about cooking, and this is my wife's point, and I think it's very good, is that that whoever's doing the cooking, it's not really a vacation for them.
Right.
That's true.
Similarly, if you're making your own beds and cleaning up the rental house, it's not really a vacation for the people doing the cleaning. But I guess if everybody pitches in, it's not too bad.
That's true about DVC too. You have to clean up after yourself and make your own bed too.
You can get maid service. I think it's
you can, yeah.
It's a little bit extra per day, or you can be like me and just not do it.
Speaking of saving money, what about a family on a really tight budget? Got to get to Disney World, but don't have a whole lot to spend.
I think you're definitely staying off-site if that's the case. If
Yeah.
you're staying off-site, I would definitely look at things like either a Holiday Inn suite
Right.
in downtown Disney, or if everyone makes fun of it, but there's a Motel 6 in Orlando. Have I told you guys about this? It's like the test kitchen Motel 6 of the future, where Motel 6 is apparently testing out every new concept they have in terms of lodging. So like
maid service?
No, not maid service, but in terms of floor plans, there are things like triangular bathrooms because they don't take up as much space and they give you more room, right? So things like that. And it's I think the Motel 6 off of I Drive is the one. It actually got the in 2005. It was the most improved property. There's the most improved property in the unofficial guide. And what are they like? $49 a night, peak season.
Yeah, if you go on Expedia and you just look for hotels on like say 192, you'll find a lot of great deals out there to save money that way. So it sounds like offsite is really the only way to go, unless I don't know, you go during the value season and a cast member who has a discount or something like that.
Unless you have a girlfriend that working at the All Star.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
You can get a discount. The Holiday Inns aren't bad. Yeah, I stayed at although I did stay at one of the Holiday Inns once, and I was checking in, and the woman who was checking me in was having like a really bad day, and apparently the reason why she was having a really bad day was the shooting in the parking lot the night before.
That'll do for me.
Yeah, I can feel for your sister, but I'm sure it's fine now.
Next one is, if one family is going to be staying off-site to save some money, what about the Kara Goldsberry family, the family that has money is not an object for them and want to really splurge?
do they want to splurge or do they want convenience? Because that might be two different things. I don't know if people with unlimited resources would just say, okay, I'm just going to go to the presidential suite of the Grand Floridian, because I'm not sure if that's a real convenient option. I personally like the Polynesian only because it's just very well located, and I'd probably go with the concierge level at the Polynesian.
I think it would just be the best, I guess in any of your opinions, the best room regardless of price. I mean, just, if you think that it's the Polynesian concierge, like you said, Mike, then it's that one. Or if Len thinks it's Animal Kingdom Lodge concierge, then it's that, something like that.
I've never really seen the presidential suites. I mean, I've seen photos of them, but I've never actually been in the presidential suite. And the only reason for this is because no one in the unofficial guide, none of our unofficial guide readers, ever write in to demand more research on that subject. So if any of our listeners would like to write to Bob Salinger and demand more coverage of the presidential suites, then I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, the Animal Kingdom presidential suite looks pretty good. Okay. I just don't know that I would justify the cost. I mean, even if money was unlimited.
I think it sounds like a concierge level.
That could. Mine's like, yeah, we wouldn't have that problem. Yeah, it's sleep well.
Yeah, I could go for the presidential suite. Why not?
Does the Swan have suites?
I don't believe so.
Don't know.
I really like the Swan. I mean, for the money. Even not for the money, I just like the Swan. Swan Dolphin. Let's see what we can find.
Well, I'm going to say, I think any of the monorail resorts you really can't go wrong with.
Contemporary?
Well, okay, I take that back. You can go wrong, but it's not going to be that bad. I think the location of the Contemporary is its redeeming value. I think Polynesian, some people like Grand Floridian. I mean, I think relative it's not that great, but to the other ones, certainly we've talked about at length how it lacks compared to the other concierge levels found at other Disney resorts. I would probably say, actually, now that I think about it, since you've got all this money, you might as well get a rental car, and you might as well stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, the Swan and the Dolphin do have presidential suites.
Oh, they do?
Boy, you should check out their website, too. It's really nice.
Oh, I guess I'll have to stay there next time.
We could all pitch in and sell kidneys and stay there.
We just send the bill to Bob, and it'll be the same thing.
And he would say, Testa. The name? No, don't really know anyone with that name.
And finally, our last family is a family whose grandparents are coming along. Now, I just saw National Lampoon's Christmas, so my opinion on this may be a little bit biased after seeing that movie.
Holiday Road.
Oh, dear.
And yea, though the Hindus speak of karma, Lord, I implore you, give this woman a break.
Hey, Mike Scopa, where would you stick your in-laws?
Well, let's see. Let's define this demographic one more time. Are we talking about a family of, let's say, 4 and
Grandma and Grandpa?
Okay. Well, again, you could make an argument for the suites, because then it's a lot easier for Grandma and Grandpa to babysit the youngins when the parents want to go out for the evening.
Smart, yeah.
All right, Mike, fess up. Come on. You know what we all want to hear.
Nothing says nothing.
I know nothing
the
about
Pop Century. That's right. Well, hey, if Pop Century's, again, we don't know when this is going to happen, but if the Legendary Years offers suites, that would be the spot to go.
Well, so other than the suites, I mean, going back to what Gary Fitzgerald wrote, he said, that the hotel rooms max out at 5, with the exception of DVC and Fort Wilderness. Right. Len, do the suites change that sort of room requirements in terms of people?
It depends on the suite.
Yeah. Not all suites are created equal.
Just the standard suites, no, I don't think they do. You have to move up to like a junior or an executive level suite, whatever they call them. Like, I'm looking at the layout for the Swan. They've got a junior suite that you might be able to do the in-laws with, because there's a fold-out bed in the sort of living room area, or like a queen, like a sofa sleeper sofa.
Would it make more sense? Let's assume that the family decides, okay, we're going to have us, the family of 4, in one room, and Grandma and Grandpa in another resort. Would it behoove them to perhaps have the grandparents stay at a more convenient resort than the family? Like the family could stay at, say, I don't know, Pop Century.
Well, it's just hard for everyone to get together in the morning, though, if they're going to have breakfast or dinner together. And plus, if they're renting a car, I don't think that would be good. I think you'd want everybody centrally located, just so they can all get together in the morning.
Well, maybe adjoining rooms at a Marriott might be a way to go too.
Yeah, adjoining or connecting. I mean, depending on how much privacy you want. Adjoining doesn't have the door between the rooms. Connecting does.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, that might not be terrible.
All right, well, that's it for us today. This has been episode number 40 of Walt Disney World Today. Be sure to visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com for the show notes. And, of course, you can email us at, what is our email address? Oh, yeah, questions. at wdwtoday.com. As always, we've got our new shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday of every week. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.